What is up, guys, gals, and you awesome means and gamers in different shapes and sizes. It is me, Josh again, or Proxy, bringing you some Drawn to Death today on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it's going to be pretty freaking awesome. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy this video, and want to subscribe for more Drawn to Death content in the future, but some more simple deathmatch, playing as Cyborgula, a brand new character. I've been doing this for every single video, showing you a different character each and every time, with all of their abilities, trying to understand them, but I'd probably say that Cyborgula has the easiest to comprehend, probably, possibly, potentially, I'm not too sure. Comment section below, let me know, what do you think to all of the cast so far? What is your favorite? Who would you rather see me play as? I mean, at the moment, I'm really liking Bronco, I'm really liking Ninja, I'm really liking I'm liking pretty much all of them, even Diablo. Oh my goodness, like, there's some really cool abilities, and that's the thing, it's not really the character itself, it's the ability set that really sells these characters half the time. But we are playing a Cyborgula who is a very unique character, in a sense of, I don't know if this character's slowly getting very, very annoying to a certain amount of people. So basically with Cyborgula, you can see here, using one of the main abilities already, where basically you press circle, which is to activate your special abilities, but he pretty much goes into like a homing missile pod turret platform bat thing. And he, like, basically you have to end up like holding down the trigger button and then aiming that circle onto an enemy, and then you'll charge it up and you'll be able to fire a swarm of explosive bats at your enemies' faces. And that's pretty awesome because each one is a kiss, but also an explosive kiss of death and justice. And so with that, it's a very powerful ability, but that is not the end of Cyborgula's toolset. You also have the ability to kind of like, it's kind of like having like a flash forward dance, like dash kind of thing. So he kind of like dances in midair and he like just dashes forward. Supposedly he does damage, like there, as you can see me just do it there, look. And I've not been able to hit anybody with it yet. I've been trying very, very hard to hit someone with it. I actually have more luck hitting people with the melee, which is also really difficult to actually pull off, but I'm trying, and you know, I'm trying when it comes to these abilities. Another one that I love is that you can fly. This is really, really cool. So basically all you end up doing is just pressing the X button to jump, but then just pressing L1 as well, and it'll let him flap his wings, and you'll be able to fly around the arena, and it comes really handy in this match, as you're going to see. Also just completely face planted a rocket in my face there. Whoopsie freaking doodle. But awesome abilities when it comes to Cyborgula. The final one, which you will casually see, I hope, while doing this match, is pretty much a martyrdom. This is something that I mentioned in the last video when it came to organ donor, but how can I explain this one? So it's kind of like martyrdom, but so as you can see here, this is it. So I'm about to blow up, this red circles everywhere. You end up going onto your enemy, and whoever's within that circle will get killed too. Now you may think to yourself, well, wait a minute, if there are a bunch of other opposing dudes on dudettes in the match, and then I go into martyrdom and end up killing all of them, like say all three, then that must mean that I'll get free easy kills. Well, it actually doesn't actually work like that. They've ended up making the clever idea of making it so that you get no scoring when you use the martyrdom, when you actually die and actually end up pulling off a kill with the martyrdom. It just takes the enemy out of the equation, makes them lose the weapons that they're equipped with at the moment, but also gives you that little bit of a breather so you can actually jump back into the match as fast as possible and try and get one of those weapons before them, or maybe like steal the health. That is something that I actually really like to do, is hog all the health to stop people from gaining it so I can try and kill them as efficiently as possible. Because one thing you might notice is there's a little dude here called Bronco. Now Bronco has a very unusual ability in himself, which is that he can actually heal himself. This is only when he's not in combat, but when he's running around, when he's not being aggressed on, or when he's not being harassed, or when he's not harassing somebody else. I mean, I haven't seen any lawsuits yet, but what he can actually do is syringe himself with a little bit of adrenaline. This allows him to heal over time, but also get a damage boost. And so it's this thing where if you are hogging all the health, you want to make sure that they're kind of having to use all of their abilities, so then you can end up dishing out the most immense justice possible on your foes down below. And it's actually a really good tactic. I ended up just smacking my mic there, I apologize for that. But it's actually a really, really good tactic, and I find myself doing it a lot more, especially with all of the characters. You will see this along in a lot of matches, is that I'm actually just hogging the health and then forcing the characters to try and use their abilities, which then kind of gets them distracted, which gets them a little bit more preoccupied with doing their own kind of thing at keeping alive. And it's just something that I've ended up doing. I don't know if it's something that you ended up doing, if it's a tactic that you try and do, but it's something that I find very useful, especially when it comes to firing from long range or just going in there for an assassination, is that if they are trying to go for their health, if they don't have any health to go to, they're pretty much kind of like running around like headless chickens. And you'll find that with a lot of the player base, is that they will always be on the hunt for health, but you want to keep an eye on that Bronco, who is going to have an amazing one-on-one with me in this match, because the sudden death in this game is just crazy, and you're gonna see why. But Drawn to Death only came out a few days ago, and it's really, really fun. There are some control issues. This is one thing I will bring up. And it's something that a lot of outlets, a lot of news outlets, and a lot of YouTube channels have ended up bringing up, is that the game has a little bit of a floaty feel to it. The aiming is a little bit off as well when it comes to the jumping around and everything like that. And it can get a little bit annoying, and it's one of the reasons why sudden death takes so long, and you will see why in a moment. And I mean, I just smacked the mic again, I'm really, really sorry. But it's this thing where that can be improved on. If that can get taken like out of the equation and can be a little bit more smooth, then this game has some immense potential. And that's something that's really, really cool. Because again, we've seen this with a lot of games recently, say like with Titanfall, or even older than that with like League of Legends and stuff, you know, where characters, or even say Black Ops 3. I know that's like a really, really, not old game, but it's one very much in the past, but that was kind of the one that started the trend of AAA games that weren't MOBAs, actually having that kind of thing where the characters had their own personality through the abilities that you used. And so, look at that, as you can see there, look, taking Bronco out with my Martyrdom ability, self-destruct as they call it in this game, but I think Martyrdom sounds a little bit sexier. It means that I might actually get those virgins in heaven, I'm not too sure, but it is one of those things where it has that potential to bring in some amazingly crafted characters, and that is also because the game is based on a boy just drawing in his notebook in class, and that's like a really cool amount of potential, because obviously with that, it means that they could actually bring in like a character every few months. We've seen this with, say, Paragon, where isn't it like in every 3 weeks? I think it's every 3 weeks they bring out a brand new character, and completely, you know, blows the minds of the fan base, because it's another little bit into that universe, into that lore. And you can do that with Drawn to Death. You can easily do that because you've got so much potential. The sky is the limit when it comes to the infinite possibilities of creativity when creating characters for this game. And that is really, really cool. But, comment section below, let me know, what do you think to Drawn to Death? I would love to know. I'm finding that a lot of people are going very 50-50 when it comes to this game. I think most of it is to do with the controls, but Bartlett Jones, the developers behind the game, have been very, very supportive of the game. They're making sure it's pretty much like the dudes and dudettes behind Let It Die, where they're really on perfection mode. They want to make sure the experience is as best as possible, because remember, dev teams spend so much freaking time when it comes to making these games, and they want to make sure that it's not just wasted time. You know, why would you end up putting out a game that doesn't even work? I mean, that has happened in the past, but this is a development team that take this shizzle seriously, and we all know that. I mean, come on, it's the dude behind God of War and Twisted Metal, and it feels like Twisted Metal. This is the thing. You can feel the template behind it. Even if it is a third-person shooter and it's not based on vehicles, so they don't have to reverse and stuff, you know, you can actually walk sideways. Cars can't walk sideways, I mean, not at least yet. I mean, maybe in a few thousand years when they evolve, but for now, it feels like Twisted Metal where you can walk sideways. I think that's the best way of doing it, and also you can jump very, very high. But along with that, again, I would love to know your opinion, but we are activating sudden death here, and this is probably going to be one of the longest sudden deaths I've ever experienced when playing Drawn to Death. Going against Bronco, basically what's ended up happening is the rest of the team have ended up just, not the team, but the people playing this match have ended up leaving. They've just ended up buggering off, pussying out, rage quitting, and it's up to me and Bronco to settle this shizzle. And we're going to be here for a little bit. Because with sudden death, you get a lot of health, but also a damage boost. And basically what's going to be happening here is a bit of hiding behind cover, jumping out, trying to take pot shots and everything like that. But you may notice that Bronco is actually using his UAV drone, which, to his advantage, which actually takes damage off me over time. He can throw that or keep it around himself. And by throwing it at me, it means that it's just hovering right there. You can see it chasing after me there, look. It takes one shot to kill, but if it actually latches onto me, it will take damage off me over time. It's chip damage, but still very, very annoying. I have 238% of health. Different from 100, as mentioned, this is sudden death, so they do give you pretty much about triple the damage, you know, intake amount, which is pretty good. So lots of health. But it's going to get very, very tanky in here. Using the Tommy gun, I have mentioned this before, the Tommy gun is probably one of the most powerful automatic firing weapons in the game. As long as you can keep that crossfire on the enemy, you're going to be doing an immense amount of damage potential. But taking advantage of Cyborgula's ability to fly and also those homing bats, because they do a lot of damage and, you know, they're free. You know, just let it charge over time and you've got some awesome damage potential there, baby. Along with the fact that I'm using also the Quad Zuka, this is also one of my go-to long-range weapons, mainly because I suck at long range. range. I'm not good with snipers. I'm generally not really good with rocket launchers. And so having something that's homing when I'm not close means it's quite helpful. I mean, the quad Zuka doesn't really do that much damage. I'm also really trying to practice with that, like, back dash thing. I don't actually know what it's called, but still getting really, really annoyed to try and use it and then getting punished when using it. I will get better, I promise. But getting so close to taking this dude down, he's just like hopping around all over the place. I really want him to die. He keeps using the pillars to his advantage, and this is the thing, because you're so tanky in this game, you can do that. He's just floating all over the place. Please die. Please just do it for the honor of everybody. Just everyone wants to go home. They want to have their dinner. They want to have their tea. It's not over yet. We're still fighting. He's sending out his UAV at me again. I only have 63% of my health left. Oh my goodness, we are down to 50%, and also he has barely any health as well. He has more health than me. If he runs, I think if you run out of time, he may actually win this, or it just kind of rallies over again. Thankfully, he was able to get some health there. Now, the thing when it comes to getting health in sudden death is you will only go back up to 100%. If you do take any more, you will not get any more of your triple health from the sudden death match. So right now, we're kind of going at each other with whatever health we have remaining, and it's still going. This is the biggest tank battle I have ever seen. We're trying our best to do something here. I've got no bullets, so I'm trying to get the Tommy gun ammo. There we go. But he's like trying to stay at a distance because he obviously has that UAV that he can throw at me, but he also has the automatic firing rocket launcher, and I'm trying to use the quad Zuka at him. So, and he's using that goddamn pillar, and it's one of these things where it's like, please just stand still. Please just stop. He is so close to dead. I want to kill him now. I want to put his head on the mantelpiece. I should probably just activate that Tommy gun and just go to town him. I only have 83% of my health left though. We're going in for the closeness now. Oh my goodness, that jump pad stopping me. So close to killing him, and there we go, going in for the finishing blow. Whew! Cyborgula taking the match. Sudden death, probably the longest, as I said. Let me know if you actually had a long sudden death match like that. Who was it against? Who did you use? Would love to know all of your shizzle. But it has been me, Josh, aka Proxy, bringing you some drawn stuff today on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video and want to subscribe for more of this content in the future. But whew, that was the tensest match I have ever seen when it comes to drawn stuff. Those sudden deaths are really, really cool, especially when it comes to the ranked mode, which is pretty much just 1v1. But either way, it has been me, Josh, aka Proxy, and I will see you all next time. Ciao for now.